the fact that there were two non-competitive college football semifinals, and we saw a Rose Bowl like we did between USC and Penn State. Florida State played well against Michigan, which played well without its top two players on offense and defense. Is there a conversation about changing the way that the teams that are selected to get into the Final Four? Has there been any conversation about looking and taking stock with what happened over the last several weeks here, Bruce?
Not at this point, Rich. I think really that's a big discussion we in the media have kicked around, but from what I've heard, it's really not a discussion that the power brokers of the sport are looking at. I think I don't want to say it was fluky because it wasn't the way Ohio State got blown out by Clemson. But I don't think anybody really saw that coming. I think there were people who picked Clemson to win. Nobody expected them to shut. Urban Meyer's team had never been shut out. So I don't think that. I think what we have here is the two best teams in college football, and they're the most talented teams, and that's how we've gotten. I'm not sure if Penn State played in the playoff. Yeah, they probably would have scored more points than Washington, but I think they would have probably given up a lot more points than Washington. And you put some of those other teams, Florida State, like you said, Michigan was a little depleted by that point too. I just think that both of these teams would have handled those other teams pretty convincingly as well.
And what about the idea that those would have been two pretty damn good quarterfinal playoff games too?
Yeah, no, look, I'm somebody who wouldn't mind seeing an 18 playoff because I don't love the idea of, the kind of, I don't call it blind choosing, but you're talking about your 5-power conference leagues. Why not have each one get a bid and then you get 3 at-large bids? The problem with that is the season is already long enough now. It keeps getting longer in college football. It's longer than it was, 5 years ago. It's certainly longer than it was 10 years ago. It's not like they're getting paid. The only ones who are, getting paid are the TV networks who put it on and the coaches and the players aren't. And there's more worried about injury risk and everything else. And you talk to players, they can't imagine playing another game after this. So they got to find a way to shorten the regular season, which I don't think the ADs would go for because that means money out of their pocket to say go back to 11 games instead of 12 or not having a conference title game. People don't want to give up that money even if they think they may get money on the back end. So it's an interesting problem, and I don't know if there's an easy solution for them on it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.